Hello, everyone. It's us, TV Days Drama Digest, here to deliver every juicy detail from today's intense episode of Days of Our Lives, aired on October 29th. If you missed this roller coaster of emotions in Salem, don't worry, we've got you covered. Sit back, relax, and get ready as we dive into the heart-wrenching, thrilling, and utterly dramatic events that unfolded today. The evening began on a hopeful note as Tate and Sophia met for their very first official date, a night that held so much promise yet teetered on the edge of heartbreak. Under the soft lights of Salem's town square, they seemed to be just two young people falling in love. Laughter filled the air as they shared stories and bantered over dinner. But in Salem, peace is often fleeting. The atmosphere shifted as Sophia brought up Holly, a name that has haunted their relationship like a ghost. Holly's presence loomed over them like a shadow, casting doubts on their blossoming romance. Trying to be honest, Sophia confessed that she had never intended to come between Tate and Holly. It was a statement filled with sadness, a raw admission of the turmoil Holly had caused. Tate, visibly remorseful, listened carefully as Sophia spoke, but he couldn't resist explaining his own side of the story. He admitted to seeking Aaron's approval before dating Sophia, an attempt to navigate the tricky dynamics of their shared friendships. Yet, despite his intentions, the gesture left Sophia feeling more like a pawn in a carefully orchestrated move than the object of Tate's affections. Hurt, Sophia stared back at him, her eyes questioning, "Did you ever consider me as more than just an escape from the drama with Holly?" Tate tried to reassure her, but a new question bubbled up, one that Sophia couldn't hold back any longer. "What if Holly wants you back?" she asked, her voice almost trembling with vulnerability. Tate, caught off guard, hesitated, a small, almost imperceptible pause, but one that said more than words ever could. Sophia's heart sank. She had always known that Holly and Tate's connection ran deep, but hearing Tate's uncertainty laid bare her deepest fears. She felt, in that moment, like an understudy, waiting in the wings for a role she may never fully claim. Drawing on her courage, she firmly stated that she was not interested in being a placeholder, someone Tate could lean on only because things with Holly had fallen apart. She deserved more, and she let him know it. Surprisingly, Tate's response was heartfelt. He told her how things with Holly had always felt unstable, like a sandcastle being slowly eroded by the tide. Holly's lies, betrayals, and impulsive slap had shaken him deeply, making him realize that perhaps what he had with her was never as solid as he once believed. But, wanting to protect Sophia's feelings, Tate proposed taking things slowly, to truly build something meaningful between them. His sincerity softened her resolve, and Sophia agreed to see where this could go. Their tension finally eased, and as a gesture of goodwill, Tate invited Sophia to his house to watch a movie. With her heart lighter, Sophia accepted, the two of them eager to let the evening erase the doubts that lingered between them. But just as Tate and Sophia's story began, another tale of forgiveness and reconciliation was unfolding elsewhere in Salem. Holly had returned to town and immediately sought out Eric. The two shared a heart-to-heart, with Holly finally revealing how deeply the chaos created by Abigail DeMera, now known as Kat, had affected her. In an unexpected twist, Holly admitted she had forgiven Nicole, and with that forgiveness came a softening toward Eric as well. Eric, relieved and grateful, listened as Holly explained her journey to forgiveness. She realized, perhaps for the first time, that Nicole and Eric had hidden the truth about Daniel's accident not out of malice but out of fear and love. The reunion brought comfort to both, but Eric could sense a new wave of worry wash over Holly as he mentioned that Brady had been exonerated. She looked confused, so Eric filled her in on the complicated events surrounding Brady's case. As Holly listened, guilt crept over her. She had pushed Brady away, distanced herself from him and Tate, convinced she was doing the right thing. But now, with the truth laid bare, Holly felt an intense sense of regret. She wasn't sure if Tate would forgive her, even as Eric assured her that forgiveness could be a possibility. But Holly's heart was torn. She wasn't certain she had the patience to wait for him to come around, especially knowing that Tate might already be moving on with Sophia. Desperation building, Holly sent Tate a message, hoping against hope that she could still salvage what they once had. As Holly wrestled with her emotions, across town at the Salem Police Department, tensions were high in the holding cells. Mark had been thrown into a cell directly across from Kat, Abigail's dangerous alter ego. It was an unexpected, tense reunion. In the silence of the cold, gray cell, Mark admitted his fears, revealing to Kat his recent failed attempts to contact Clyde. Worry lined his face as he voiced his belief that Clyde might have abandoned them. But Kat, ever defiant, refused to give up hope. She clung to the possibility that her mother, Katerina, was still alive, that Clyde's silence didn't spell disaster just yet. In a moment of vulnerability, Kat confessed her feelings for Chad, an admission that seemed to carry the weight of a broken heart. Chad, who had once been her closest ally, now harbored nothing but resentment toward her. It was a bitter pill to swallow, but Mark, sensing that both he and Kat were at a crossroads, suggested that they find a way out, for Aaron, for Felicity, and for themselves. Their resolve hardened, and they exchanged a look of determination, ready to face whatever fate had in store. Over at the Horton house, Julie was preparing tea, only to find Chad standing before her, devastated. He shared the news of his wedding to Kat, his heartache spilling over as he recounted the scandal and betrayal that had shattered their bond. Julie listened with compassionate silence, offering a shoulder for Chad to lean on. But Chad, restless and struggling, left abruptly, unable to find peace in her comforting presence. Back at the police station, Kat was led into an interrogation room, her hands bound, her expression a mask of defiance. But when her visitor stepped forward, that mask cracked. It was Chad, standing across from her, his gaze icy and unforgiving. The tension was palpable, each word they exchanged thick with unresolved pain and lingering bitterness. The two former allies stood on opposite sides of a widening chasm, one that seemed impossible to bridge. Meanwhile, Steve was piecing together clues that connected Kat, Mark, and Clyde, tracing their roots back to the mystery of Katerina. With a newfound resolve, he revealed to John that Katerina had been held hostage, meaning John was free from any responsibility in her presumed death. Buoyed by this discovery, Steve called Shane, urging him to tighten restrictions in hopes of keeping Clyde in check. Across town, John received the news with relief, and Marlena quickly called him to share in the moment of joy. She later ran into Eric, who was planning a return to Paris. She wished him well, sensing that her family's challenges, though far from over, were beginning to find some light. There were hints of happiness ahead, yet Marlena chose not to elaborate, letting the moment linger with hope. Today in Salem, hearts were broken, forgiveness was sought, and secrets continued to weave the tangled web that binds everyone together. Join us next time as we unravel more of the drama, passion, and intrigue in Days of Our Lives. We hope you enjoyed it and look forward to sharing more with you in the future. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe TV Days Drama Digest for more updates on Days of Our Lives.